Savage here. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be doing one of my cardstock paintings. Haven't done one of these in a while as far as a tutorial. Figure I'd go from start to finish and kind of show kind of what I've been doing lately. First off, like I say, this is just some cardstock. Got this from like Michael's. These are 6x8, just some mixed media papers. All I'm doing, basically I'm doing like the kind of doing like Bob Ross style, but the only difference is I don't have to prep the canvas or anything like that, because pretty much that paper doesn't work all that good with Bob Ross liquid white. I find it just makes like a little mess. But like I said, I've been doing a lot of these lately. I've done a lot of cardstock pictures lately, and I kind of figured I'd show how I do that from start to finish. I kind of show. So what I'm doing first off is I'll tape it onto this little section right here. That way it stays in place. And what I'm doing, I have these matted frames that I've been making. Like I say, like I'll paint a photo, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna frame it, put it in a little plastic piece, and makes it look real nice. But the way I kind of get my dimensions down so that I don't, make the painting too big, and then when I go to frame, I got a little 5x7, roughly. That's about what the inside of the frame is. So I trace that out first. Then we can get to work. Like I said, this painting, what I'm trying to do is a little swamp scene, kind of a daybreak type deal. I've done this one the other day, and I'm doing these paintings for this design company, and they want me to basically redo that one. So I'm gonna try my best. It isn't gonna be an exact duplicate, but we're gonna get those color schemes and everything like that. Okay, so the brushes I'll be using for this, I say for this project, a couple of these, I don't even know the name of these, kind of just like these old school round brushes, right? Like a traditional looking paintbrush. 2 fan brushes, one for lights, one for darks, and then I'm gonna use the bulk of it. I'll be using this filbert brush from Bob Ross, and then of course my 2 palette knives, a small and a big one. Okay, and my most important painting tool right now is a shop towel, and I'll show that being done with the blending. Okay, so let's go to work. Starting off, I'm gonna put a bunch of yellows and browns. Browns are gonna go to the outside, yellows are gonna be on the inside, and then like I said, we'll have the cabin right here. So we're gonna go right into Indian yellow first. Now this, like I said, this paint I've been using a bunch, so it's gonna have all kinds of little mixes and stuff in it. Like I said, I'm not too worried about anything yet. Indian yellow in the middle, a little bit of yellow ochre around that. I think normally on a canvas you have to put the liquid white to make this blending happen, but the paper it slides a little bit. Like I said, you just gotta be forceful with it. It's gonna look like nothing at first, and then slowly but surely it's gonna start looking good. I'm not cleaning my brush in between all these either. Now I'm going to my cad yellow. Get that going. A little bit more of that. Like I said, it's starting to become Christmas time kind of, so got the vibes in the background, just kind of relaxing, chilling. And then I'm kind of, like I said, I'm going inside and just letting all these colors kind of mix together. Okay. Mix the least bit of red also down here. Whenever it blends together, it's gonna make almost like an orangish feel to it. A lot of red you really won't see throughout the painting. I like to put it in there, it just warms it up a little bit. I said nothing too special in this part. I just went into some Van Dyke brown, but really I want to, we'll put that in the corners. Like I said, that's going to be the darkest part. Kind of in my corners and stuff like that. But I wanted to go into the burnt umber. A little bit more warm. Yeah. Do burnt umber first and then we'll finish off with the Van Dyke. More than anything, all I'm doing is kind of staining the paper. I'll be able to do some cool effects whenever I'm scraping in the cabinet. A little bit more of that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, this stage right here, we're just trying to stain as much as the paper as we can. It's going to look terrible, and then it's going to look decent, and then it'll look alright. And that's all I'm looking for. You're just looking for alright sometimes. I kid. Alright, let's go with that Van Dyke brown. Dark, dark, dark. Into the corner. The thing is, these colors are all transparent colors. So whenever you do this on a white canvas, you still see the paper. You know what I mean? I said, it almost looks like a coffee stain almost sometimes, the way the browns and all that kind of work. Hit the camera, my bad. Okay. Now that I got that, like I say, talking about the paper towel being my best friend here, just gonna blend out with the paper towel. Like I said, pretty much any extra paint that I might have, it's gonna kind of catch for me. I want to keep this spot as bright as possible, so whenever I do this, it might go down a little bit, but I'm not going to go down too much. Okay. I'm just kind of blending out to the outside. All this down here, I don't care. Don't care. All this is going to get caught up by trees and everything anyway. That's why I want so much darkness right here, because I'm kind of making, like I say, almost kind of making my tree effects. With the paper towels, I already can kind of tell where my trees are going to be. I have a great big one right here. So, just laying down color. Okay. I want this spot to be a little more bright. So, and also too, that's another thing. With this cardstock, like the paint instantly dries on it. You know, it's pretty cool. So now, it could be a cleaner brush. A more clean brush. Right? Going right at the titanium white, just a little bit. My brightest spot right here. So I'm gonna work that. I'm gonna work toward the outsides. This does two things. One, kind of gives you that smoky, you know, misty effect, because titanium white is opaque, meaning that it does more of a you can't see through the color, right? You can't see through it. So now it's like I'm actually painting the canvas, right? I'm gonna use a little bit of that. Like I said, at least a little bit. I'm kind of setting up my water. If I just go side to side like that, I want to leave this unfinished like that, because like I said, now it kind of looks kind of misty and smoky, and like I said, maybe I'll blend a little bit up top here, just a little bit, not a whole lot. Like I said, this is all going to be covered by trees, so I don't want to go too crazy inside here. I'm just using a tip like that, see? Barely a tip. Like I said, now go back into this light area though. So I want that to kind of be my light source. You know, everything's going to kind of play off from the backside. Okay. So, now that we got that, we're going to go back into our dark brush, and we're going to start kind of laying out my land mass, where my cabin, wherever, whatever, you know, whatever it's gonna be. I'm just kind of, I want some more like jagged edges on this one. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just kind of scraping right there. So I'm using the under colors to kind of play, you know. If you do, I was about to say traditional. If you're more Bob Ross style painter, like I said, you would tap, tap, tap and get all your detail like that, right? But you can, and I will eventually, but like I said, that way I can get more of the lay of the land. But right here, like I said, I'm just scrubbing onto the sides, kind of letting the let my undercolor kind of do its thing here. So I kind of like that little look like that. Again, I want to do all of the background first and then work toward the foreground. So now we need to start adding some trees into the back. For that, use my fan brush. I'm just going to use the tip, just the side, barely touching, just like this with the side of the brush. Okay. For that, let's think. We're going to mix a little bit of titanium white with the Van Dyke brown. Just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna touch it one time, and if I don't like, I'm gonna do this corner first. Whenever I tested my color out, right? A little too light, like that. A little bit more brown, so I'm gonna add a touch of burnt umber in that. Still a little too gray for me. Add more Van Dyke brown. Still getting that like grayish color. Let's take my dirty brush, I'm gonna tap right into the burnt umber. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I wanted right there. Okay, just something of that color. That's too much paint. See how it's globbing up? I'm gonna wipe off just a little bit. Like I said, I want this to be faint. So start thinking about our tree shape. Barely touching. I want these to look like cypress trees, so kind of have like these round shapes on the top, and then it kind of, like I said, it's like little circles. It's kind of pop back and forth like that. Okay. So these are all gonna be background trees. That's okay. So just kind of touching side to side. So I want the background to work for me. Okay. That's pretty. The more sideways, man, the better it works. I want them bristles just to barely touch. So I just want little indications. Like this right here, we just gonna scrape that up. Ain't worried about that. Paper towel, make sure it's dry. Just gonna kind of, we're doing this a lot, touching the canvas, getting that little extra off. Okay. Don't worry. It's not bad. I know some people probably gasp at that. Let's take this dark one. I said barely touch. Because that's how I want shadow in the back. Little detail in the front. I'm going to go with some light color since our light source is here. I'll kind of work it. Okay. That little bit of color that we just had. A touch. A little more detail on those. I think I want another little one right here. Yeah. Okay. Now, I want to take that same background color. So we're using the yellow. We're going to a touch of yellow ochre. Going into that same little bit of light color we did earlier. I'm just going to barely touch these right here. Okay. Pretty much this color right here is what I'm using kind of as a highlight a little bit. And then I want a little bit of that yellow. So cad yellow with a little bit of white. Not too crazy. That's it. Got a little bit on the brush. I'm just gonna touch ever so little. So just want to sun kiss these just a little bit. some light boys way back here. I said a lot of this you don't even see, but we're gonna change that up multiple times. Now, that same light color, we're just gonna add this lightest little bit. Trunk indications. A little bit of paint on there. The smallest little bit. I don't know if you can see that good. Yeah, there we go. Barely touch. Kind of put some back here and stuff. This one's gonna be a little more pronounced, but then like I say that canvas, since we got it stained like that, scrape up like that. Kind of grab some of that paint. Kind of make it work for you. So, like I said, I want a tree in the foreground. I want something a little bit closer to me. So, we're gonna go into Van Dyke Brown. A little bit of touch of that light mixture we had used with the burnt umber. We'll put this bad boy right here. It's gonna give our house some shade. Just touching like that. So I don't want this tree to be too big or prominent or anything like that. Kind of scrape the bottom like that. So it fall into nothing. Kind of take some of that color. Scrape right there. Then go into burnt umber. A little bit of yellow. Same idea. Just gonna touch barely. Sideways like that. Ooh. Yeah, boy. That's gangster right there. I like that. Touch this a little bit. Let's graze that. Let me give some little bushes on the feet. Since we got the light here coming this way, we'll put this light color. See, it's kind of playing with the lay of the land a little bit. Okay. Now let's start working on the main attraction for this. Clean my knife off. This cabin going. I should do something like this before. That's bothering me. Something like that. Kind of. Make that bad boy disappear. Don't like it? Change it. All you gotta do. Alright, so pretty trees I'm getting rid of. Just scraping the basic shape that I want. There. Right there. Area. We'll have some straight down right here, some straight down right there, a little bit right here. Okay. So that's gonna be our house. Let's go. Straight Van Dyke Brown started off. That right there. This. I'm using a little bit of paint, So, like I say, we prepped out by Like I said, the more work that we did on the back of the, see, you know, these nice little things happening because, like I say, it's almost like you're staining the canvas, yeah? So, let's see, let's get this down to here, give or take. Trying to remember where I put my line up. Let's break that down. Straight down. Straight down. There and here. That's how I kind of want this angle to be. It's almost like a V shape. So we can just clip that off. Right there. Okay. Then we'll have a little porch. Comme ça about right here. The roof's a little too high for my liking. Like I say, you don't like it, change it. I really want the dark on top on the roof, but as far as this little area right here, I guess I don't want it as dark. So now, I'm going to that burnt umber color. Shit. Putting too much pressure. So you gotta be super gentle when you're doing this. So I'm barely grazing it. Okay. Add a little bit of white. Leaving the color really marbled. Just let this blend. So I don't want this to be like super dark. I want it to feel warm. That's all you need right there. Move this up a little bit. I got more room for my knife to move. Make some more of that burnt umber and white, a little bit of Van Dyke. So I want this to be a little more. Yeah, there we are. The more you kind of graze on it, the more it's gonna look like wood and stuff like that. Oh, that's pretty. That's the ticket right there. Somewhat dark. Okay. Okay, let's put a little. We'll put a little more dark right there. So we're gonna do something with this little area right here, so not worry about it too much. Okay. I said light's playing off. So like I said, you already kind of made yourself a nice little highlight right there. So with my same dirty knife, it's gonna go right into the yellow. We're gonna touch the very top. Be very careful. Okay. Then I want to very lightly graze that. So that's doing that. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay. Now, make this look a little more smooth. Dry brush. Touch. It's gonna blend it a little. But it's also adding lines into my planks. Make it really look wood. Make it really look like wood. I forgot how to talk for a second. Just dry side on this one. So this one's more in the light, so it's fine. What I'm gonna do, take some dark. I'm actually gonna go into a little bit of ivory black. I just wanna establish my dimensions a little bit. So I touch there, I'll touch here. That's how I really want these darks to be there. Okay, then I'm gonna go back into my house color. Let's go with, actually, I'm not trusting that right now. Let's go with our script liner. I'm gonna dip it into my thinning oil. I'm gonna go into my dark color, make a little ink almost. Okay. That's how I want. Pull here. One right here. Okay. I'm gonna pull this out like this. That way it looks like, I want it to look like a little walkway. Oop, sorry about that. Okay.
So the trusty. Oh,
You're good. All right. So then, I'm gonna take a little bit of white, scrape across here. Let that happen like that. All right. So here's the cool part about doing so much on the background first. When I take my knife, I'm gonna add a little attic window. Look at that. It already got the color, so now it looks warm. Back bedroom, living room, and then, like I say, everybody's welcome here. Open the door. Tip of my knife, I'm just gonna scrape that in. It's real warming and biting, huh? Don't like this pole. I think it looks terrible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the edge of my knife. All I did was slice through my little, just, like I said, I can't really tell, but I got the tip of my knife like that. Very carefully. A touch. And barely. A little kind of, there we go. Kind of cheat a little bit. Scrape the canvas a little bit. I got a groove for the paint to fall in. Basically, I'm using my knife like a pencil. Come on, give it to me. Okay. There we go. Make this a little more girthy. Good. Okay. So now, ooh, oh, I had some paint on there. My bad, bro. Alright. Clean that up. Now let's start working the lay of the land, like I say. So we know this is dark. The house is gonna put its own shadow. So I'm just putting some texture here. Like I said, I don't have to beat it to death. I already did all the work earlier. So when I scrape that paint in there, like I said, it left its own little stains like that, you know? Makes it real easy like that. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my big knife this time. And basically I'm gonna cheat. See how the blade has this nice little edge and this little tip right here? If I do like that, kinda looks like a boat already, yeah? So, I'm gonna put a lot of paint on the back side of the knife. Just gonna use some brown. Use a tip. Just drag across. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little more oily than I'd like it to be. I scraped from the wrong spot. But again, easy fix, easy fix. All I gotta do, take the paper towel and we'll blot it. There we go. I'm actually gonna go back with my script liner. Let's just add a little texture to it. So by just doing that, I got the dark lines, got the inside already. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of white, touch the insides a little bit. Give that three-dimensional look. And now this can all be water. Take my little brush since this is nice and oily. It came up on the bank a little bit. Now, like I said, I want to make this look like water more. So, white. And I'm going to go into the least little bit of bird umber. And then we'll come in. Just going to kind of scrub in. Scrubbing some water. It's that easy. Like I said, we did all this earlier. Then I can take the edge and I pull like this. Real soft. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. You can already tell, I already got a tree set up in my head already where it's gonna be. Because if you've been paying attention, you can already see all that shape. So, take my big knife this time. I gotta be a little more loose with it. A lot of paint, a lot of paint. Go pull from the side. Like I say, most cypress type trees and stuff like that, Always have like this little lump. Always have like the little side lump like that. So all I'm doing is just touching the paper, and I'm letting it take all that paint. See all that texture on my knife? That's coming off. That's coming off right there. Like I say, you almost like you're way back and you just kind of minding your business, and then you kind of made your way on over. You notice that somebody got the camp set up already, boy. They ready to go. Whether they got their deer stands already set up or they just getting away from everybody, whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, just kind of throwing these, not say at random, but kind of putting this and that. Cause I'm gonna start putting I'm gonna start putting what you call the color on it, like the tree branches and stuff. Then I need to add a little bit and make some bark. All I'm gonna do is take that same dirty knife, just like so. Go into that white burnt out color. All that texture. All that texture. All I'm gonna do is just touch and let. Touch and let. What I mean by that, I just let it take what it wants. I don't force. Never force. Never force nothing. It's like everything in life. Try to force it, it ain't gonna work. Won't work. And again, because we did so much work at the beginning throwing all this color, I got all these little effects. I didn't have to do anything for it. Scrape just a little bit on the bottom. Okay. Same dark color. We're gonna go into the Van Dyke first. You always do technically the back of the tree, then you do the front of the tree. Ooh. I stand up on this one, my legs are hurting. All I'm doing is going from the side. Like I said, it ain't gonna look like much yet. That's okay though. This is just the dark color first. We'll make it look nice. Don't worry about it. Okay. Same trick again. This one I think is Painting with Kevin. I think it is. He does that all the time. It's about how to make leaves look better. Lay it down thick and then you blot it. Gives you that texture. And then we'll go with my filbert brush that already had some of that light color already on it. Alright, just a little bit more. Got a little bit of roundness here and there. So I don't want to overdo. Don't want to overdo. Take my thinning oil again. Make it a little thin. A little bit of these branches here and there. Now me, from South Louisiana, so what really makes these paintings come alive for people, I'm gonna dip my fan brush into this oil, go into my white, actually I'm gonna go right into my paint that I got on the floor over here, just a little bit, not all of it. So, I got it real runny, right? I'm just gonna blot it on a paper towel. I said they call it Spanish moss, I think. Just gonna touch and pull. Touch, pull. Right there. Still a little too runny. There you are. Like that. Funny old story. Way back in the day. See? Put some on the camp too. Why not? Way back when I was little. Me, my brother, and my cousin would run all over the place in the woods. And I would see our grandpa walking out there, and he'd just be collecting Spanish moss. Like I said, you gotta understand, he's old school Cajun. Didn't speak English or anything whenever he was growing up. He's just collecting all these different Spanish moss, you know, picking moss. One day we finally, what are you doing? Oh, we'll use the bathroom, Nick. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I said, didn't believe in toilet paper, I guess. Oh. So, take some of that yellow. Like I said, this is our light spot. So, the bottom of these branches are going to kind of glisten a little bit. That's how I use just the side of my brush. Some of these here and there. Let that light kind of poke out here and there. I'm gonna let this kind of blend with this dark color because, like we talked about earlier, they have that round. Oh yeah, look at that, boy. God bless. That's so nice. Then I'll just take it, pull straight down. Not all your moss is gonna be light. Okay. Kind of give this guy some features right here. Got some moss growing on the floor, here, there. What I like to do, that same color. Now, at the dark, doing this right here, that's gonna make our water look even more better. Alright? Then you can imagine that, like I said, maybe around the bend over here, there's some trees and stuff. Can't make them out though, but we know they're there. And we're deep in the swamps. But you know that there's light, so let's take cad yellow to the least. Touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull. I just want to lead the eye. Then we can let this kind of real soft. Sometimes I do it with a knife when I do this part. A little more detail on this right here, so I want to go into my dark color. Just gonna use the corner. Okay. Same sun-kissed color. Just gonna touch. Very soft. So let it come off. There you got it. Then we got a completed painting right there. Let's get that signature on there. Same exact thing. Then in oil. I like doing my signature in red. Right in the tree. SAVAGE. Savage. Until next one, like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share. Till next time.